As the 2018 season gets underway, which Ironman athletes should we be looking out for?
Well, that is a tough question with so many top athletes out there. Well, we've narrowed it down. Now here's our top picks.
Let's start with the women, and we've got quite a few stepping up to the Ironman distance this year. First one on our list is Emma Pallant from Great Britain. She certainly stamped her mark over the 70.3 and middle distance with countless podiums and wins, including a second place at the 2017 Ironman 70.3 World Champs.
Well, we've just spotted Emma on the start list for Ironman South Africa, so her first longer distance race. But before she focused purely on triathlon, she was a runner at an international standard. She even got the title of European cross-country champion, and she's got a 5K BB of 15:35.
She switched over to the multisport world in 2012 and quickly gained a world duathlon title in 2015 before venturing into long distance. So given her sporting background, I think there's going to be a fair few worried athletes out there.
Well, next up we have got Haug from Germany. So she's another athlete to announce the move to longer distance racing, formerly an ITU shorter distance athlete with 8 podium finishes, including 3 wins at the World Triathlon Series. And she's now entered to Ironman Germany in Frankfurt, which also doubles up as the European Championships. And there she's going to be joined by fellow countryman and 70.3 bronze medalist from the Worlds last year, Laura Philipp.
Well, going by her recent result at Ironman 70.3 Dubai, where she took quite a convincing win over a pretty stacked field, I'd say she's in good shape. Though you might argue Ironman is a very different beast to 70.3 middle distance racing, but going by her 2-hour 36 debut marathon in 2016, I'd say she's one to watch out for.
Well, next on our list is Lucy Charles of Great Britain. She's another Brit we certainly couldn't leave off the list. She turned heads last year in 2017 with some impressive wins, but I don't think any of us quite expected the performance that she put in at the Ironman World Championships in Kona, where she finished second behind Daniela Ryf.
Well, on the subject of Daniela Ryf, she is without a doubt one of the top favourites. She's absolutely dominated the long distance scene for a number of years, but Lucy pushed her to the absolute limit at Kona last year. It took Daniela almost up to the end of the 180k bike leg to catch Lucy, and then she continued to push her onto the run.
Lucy comes from a swimming background and in her own words hates coming second in a swim, so she goes full out from the off, leaving everyone to chase her down. And now with the recent improvements in her bike and her run, she really is going to be a threat to that top spot.
Well, next on our list is Mirinda Carfrae of Australia. Over the past couple of years, we've seen a large number of triathlon babies, meaning many of the top females have taken a break from the sport. One in particular, 3-time Ironman world champion, Mirinda Carfrae.
Yeah, she gave birth to her daughter Isabella last year, but is very much on the comeback already. She's just announced that she's going to be racing Ironman Cairns in a few months' time. Now, as a previous Ironman champion, she doesn't have to worry about getting enough points. All she's got to do is complete one race to validate her slot at Kona.
Well, on to the men's list, and I'm going to go straight in with Terenzo Bozzone of New Zealand. After battling a recurring Achilles injury that eventually needed surgery, Terenzo is back to form with numerous Ironman 70.3 and Ironman podiums and wins.
And in some style as well, at the end of 2017, he had 4 back-to-back weekends of racing, including the Island House Tri and 3 70.3 wins, and he ended up on the podium in all 4 of those races. And then recently, he won an Ironman, and then the week after won another 70.3 and another 70.3 after that, 3 wins in the trot.
Yeah, it's just mind-boggling, especially when you take into account the travel that's involved in all of that. I don't think we need to say much more, just watch out.
Well, next up we have Lionel Sanders of Canada. We can't really ignore Lionel when it comes to this list, and he's been making it pretty obvious that he's in great shape. Recently, he's been smashing all of these indoor competitions he's been doing, including a second place at the recent CVR Indoor Cycling World Cup.
Yeah, he's been documenting it all. He's been sharing his training data along with all the crazy numbers he puts out on the bike. So whether it's his plan or not, I'm sure he's playing a few mind games with some of his main competitors.
Well, I think one who's certainly going to be keeping a close eye on his activities is Jan Frodeno. Jan's another top favourite, having won the World Championships twice before, but he's not alone, as we've seen Javier Gomez and Alistair Brownlee already step up to 70.3, and there's rumours that they're going to be stepping up to the long distance soon.
Well, wouldn't that be a race to watch? Well, another one on the list is a newcomer to Ironman racing, Andi Dreitz of Germany.
He's a newcomer to the Ironman distance, but already made a huge force in middle distance and 70.3 racing with several podiums and wins, including European 70.3 champion in 2016.
Yeah, he's well known for his biking. In fact, I've been on the receiving end of it before. It's fast. So much so in the 2015 Ironman 70.3 World Champs, he broke away on the bike, entering T2 with 1 minute and 30-second gap over the likes of Jan Frodeno.
While he's certainly going to be worth keeping an eye on if his debut Ironman performance in Italy with the win is anything to go by.
Next on our list is South African Matt Trautman. Well, you may not have heard masses from Matt as of late, and that's because he was sadly hit by a car at the start of 2017 and suffered a compression fracture to his L1 vertebrae.
Well, medical professionals said he's probably never going to be able to run again, and it just seemed to fuel him even more. So since his accident, he's already had 2 wins, including the Ironman 70.3 in South Africa earlier this year. And with the form that he had before his accident, he would have been one of the ones to watch with Kona, having already had lots of Ironman and 70.3 wins. So it's going to be really exciting to follow his comeback.
Well, that was pretty tough, whittling it down to just 4 men and 4 women. I mean, Sebastian Kienle, Ben Hoffman, Patrick Lang,
Heather Jackson, Sarah Crowley, Kaiser Sali. I mean, the list goes on. If there's anyone that you really think should be on our list, do let us know in the comments section below. And if you want to catch more GTN videos, just subscribe by hitting on the globe.
And if you'd like to hear more about the Ironman World Champs, you can see our 10 facts you need to know by clicking down here.
And we've also got a video of 5 pro triathlon training hacks just here.